everybody, it's Dina with the Rhode Island Wave newspaper and our On the Spot interview series. Today I have Kelly Nevins, who is the CEO of the Women's Fund of Rhode Island. Kelly, tell us a little bit about what is that? What does that mean? What is the Women's Fund of Rhode Island?
Yeah, we're a nonprofit organization whose mission is to invest in women and girls. We do this through research, advocacy, grant making, and strategic partnerships. And we just have this little goal of achieving gender equity through systemic change. And people are like, oh, that's a lot of words. What does that mean? We are working to close the gender, wage, wealth, health, and power gaps that exist in the state of Rhode Island. At the very base of it is we want to make sure that women are paid the same as men for doing the same types of jobs.
That's wonderful. So how do we go about doing that?
Well, we do a couple of different things. As I said, we do research. So we look at how women compare to men throughout the state of Rhode Island on the economy, the types of jobs they have, the types of education level, their health status, and also their civic engagement. And then we make policy recommendations to help to ensure that everybody has an equitable chance to thrive in the state. So we have done things like help to pass paid family leave. This past year, we expanded paid family leave. And just so folks know, the work that we do doesn't just help women and girls, it really helps everyone. So paid family leave, anybody who is welcoming a new child into their family, whether it's an adopted child or a child that's been born or who is caring for a seriously ill family member, can take advantage of that. So you can be a man and benefit from that.
Absolutely.
So yeah, we work on policy initiatives that help to ensure that everyone can thrive in the state of Rhode Island.
Okay, so when you say you work on policy, so you figure some stuff out, and then you kind of like send this up the pipeline to the legislatures, so that they have some input.
Yes. Also, we teach leadership and advocacy. So we have a 9-month training program called the Women's Policy Institute. This program teaches people how state laws get made. The folks who go through the program get to learn about how do you write pieces of legislation, how do you find sponsors for that legislation, how do you testify up at the State House, what do you do when a bill doesn't look like it's going to go to the floor for a vote. And through this program, the people who participate really get to meet community leaders, including our legislators, but also folks who are helping to educate on different topics. And by this program and also our Advocacy 101 program, we really teach people how to be engaged in how things move in our state.
Wonderful. So that's a program you can sign up for.
It is. Yes.
So you'd go to your website and
sure. It is an online program, so it runs on an academic calendar year.
Okay.
So we actually will start taking applications for that program in April, May, and June, and the next class will kick off in late August. But in the meantime, we do things like teach Advocacy 101. We also teach self-advocacy, so we teach salary negotiation skills, as an example. And those types of programs, if people are interested, they can reach out. They are part of a community organization where they'd like to have us come in and teach that to a group. We would be happy to do that.
That's wonderful. Mm-hmm. So there's a couple ways you can work this out. So what else?
Sure. So many things. Yeah. So we do research. We teach leadership and advocacy. We're a grant maker. And so we make grants to other organizations that we are partnering with to work towards goals that we think are important in the community. And next year is our 25th anniversary. So we'll have a very exciting year where we'll be working on some specific initiatives. We are partnering with organizations and coalitions like the Voter Access Coalition to make sure that Rhode Island voter access, there will be a Rhode Island voter rights bill that's going through the State House that we will be supporting. So that's a very important bill to us. We'll also be looking at how do we make sure that childcare is accessible, good quality, and affordable for Rhode Island parents. We're concerned about housing affordability, and so we'll be looking at a variety of bills that are related to that. Also RIPTA. So that's sort of the legislative suite of things that we'll be focused on. We will, let's see, in 2025, because it's an election year, we'll be hosting a gubernatorial debate, a debate for folks who are running for governor. We'll be partnering with the League of Women Voters on that. So lots of exciting things in the works for next year.
Well, that sounds like a wonderful organization to get involved with. Now, are you looking for volunteers, people to get involved? How's that work out?
Yeah, so we're actually kicking off a new volunteer committee in 2026, because we often do have people who come to us and say, I want to do something, and we're never quite sure how to best put them to work. We always have used volunteers to plan our special events and fundraisers, and if folks have an interest in that, we have a committee for that. We have a policy and advocacy committee where folks who are interested in legislation can volunteer to help us on some of the pieces of legislation that I just named. But this new volunteer committee will be starting to put together perhaps monthly drive opportunities, food drives, clothing drives, maybe working on some special initiatives to help us promote our 25th year. Basically, the committee is going to come together and pitch different ways that they can be involved, and we'll find ways to make sure that we're leveraging the great skills that they have to bring to the table.
Well, that's wonderful.
Yeah, we also do, it's not a volunteer opportunity, but it's something that folks have been involved with us for. It's a feminist activist book club, and every 6 weeks, the book club switches off between a nonfiction and a fiction book that talks about some issue that impacts women and girls. And so the January book that will be discussed is a book by Bell Hooks, which is called Feminism is for Everybody. So if folks have an interest in joining the book club, there's no cost. It's a hybrid meeting, so folks can either be physically present to discuss the book or Zoom in. We've been really lucky to have local women authors who have come in and talked about the books that they have written. So we will continue to have a list of really great books to read in 2026.
Okay, so now I have a big question.
Yeah.
So are men welcome?
Absolutely.
All right.
Yeah. So just like the title of Bell Hooks' book, Feminism is for Everyone, we really believe that a community that is more equitable for everyone means that everybody has an opportunity to thrive. So many times people think that like feminism might mean man-hating or men aren't welcome. That is not true. We have a lot of great events. In fact, we have a whole committee of men. They have called themselves PACT, and that means Partners Advancing Change Together. They're actually putting together an event in March at Topgolf, where men will be helping to teach women to golf as an opportunity to, again, level the playing field.
Wonderful.
There's not as many women who golf, for example.
Yes, and a lot of deals happen out on that golf cart.
That's right. That's right. Some other great events that we have for 2026 include Elevate Your Career, which is an opportunity to hear from women leaders about their career path. Men are absolutely welcome to come into that event. Everybody wants to learn about different ways to achieve different levels of leadership. We just happen to be centering women leaders at that event, but men are absolutely welcome, and that's true for all of our events.
Well, that is wonderful to know. I do think that the idea of feminism does get a bad rap. It doesn't mean anti-man.
Right.
And we just wanted to be a little more even.
Yes, that's right. That's right. The good news is in some aspects that we are getting closer to a more equitable Rhode Island. We know, for example, that in our State House General Assembly, 45% of our leaders in the General Assembly are women. Women make up 51% of the population, so we still have a little bit of ways to go. When we say that it's important to have more women at the table where decisions are made and resources are allocated, it doesn't matter what political party you're part of. Making sure that there's equitable representation just means that people have a variety of life experiences that are being taken into account as decisions are being made. So if there's not equitable representation based on what our population looks like, that means that we're missing out on hearing perspectives that can really inform the way our community works.
Yes, yes, and it's good to hear a lot of different voices, so we get just a better system for everybody.
Absolutely, absolutely. Yeah.
So tell us a little bit about you. What got you? Where are you from, and what got you involved in this?
Sure. Well, I'm from Illinois, but I came out to Rhode Island a long time ago to go to college. I went to URI. When I was graduating from URI, I went to school at a time when internships weren't a thing, and certainly paid internships were not a thing. I thought that I wanted to go into public relations, but unfortunately, no public relations firm would hire me without experience.
Right.
So I thought I'm one of those people who really can figure out ways to get things done, even if it's not the straight path. And I thought, oh, well, public relations is about events and building relationships. Maybe I'll go do special events for nonprofits. And so that is how I got my start in the nonprofit career track in Rhode Island. I worked for many years with United Way. I ran an organization called the Volunteer Center of Rhode Island. I did a lot with a variety of nonprofits and really learned about how to manage nonprofits and about fundraising. At some point, I got connected with the Women's Fund of Rhode Island and just was so impressed with the organization and the folks who were connected to it. And I told friends, actually, someday I'd like to run the Women's Fund. And after a couple of years after saying that, I had the opportunity and I was hired, and I've been here, well, in 2025 or 2026, when it is our 25th anniversary, it will be 10 years of my time with the organization.
Well, that's wonderful.
Yeah.
That's wonderful. So if you're looking for something to get involved with in the new year, if you're bored, you should not be bored. We have lots of wonderful organizations, and Women's Fund of Rhode Island is one of those organizations that you can get involved with and hit the ground running and help make Rhode Island more. I always think women's issues are family issues.
Yeah,
too,
absolutely.
Make it a more family friendly world we live in.
Yes, absolutely, absolutely. Oh, I forgot one more thing that is going to be really exciting in 2026. You're partnering with Scouts, Girls on the Run, the Women Project, and Rhode Island for Community and Justice in launching Rhode Island's very first Girls Coalition. We're doing it with funding from the Rhode Island Foundation, so thank you, Rhode Island Foundation. But we will be really diving deep into some of the issues that face Rhode Island girls going forward. We know from a report that we published earlier this year that girls' mental health is definitely an issue in our state, as is healthy relationships. So some of the things that Women's Fund of Rhode Island will be working on particularly, but more broadly through the Rhode Island Girls Coalition. So if you have daughters, know that we are, working on helping them to thrive as well.
That's wonderful. Yeah, send your girls to Girl Scouts and all that other fun stuff, and keep them active. Because the boys have the football and they've got all sorts of sports, and it's wonderful, but the girls need to have some of those kind of activities so that they can have those relationships and they bond, friendships that last forever.
Yep. We'll be, again, focusing on really positive mental health techniques. Youth depression and youth mental health is really a challenge right now across the country, but also in Rhode Island.
Yeah, I think I'm not gonna down on the internet. I do love it myself, but at some point we gotta get off the internet and go get busy, get active inside your body,
Yes.
doing the fun stuff that the girl kinds of organizations like the Girl Scouts
Yep.
and organizations like that can get you involved with.
Absolutely.
And Boy Scouts, of course, if you're a boy.
Absolutely.
Yeah, wonderful.
Yeah.
Well, it was very nice meeting you. I congratulations on your anniversary, your 10-year anniversary, their 25th anniversary,
Yes.
and keep up the good work. And I hope we can send some people your way to be part of your organization and see what's going on.
Fabulous.